welcome back to another episode of the Rick and Dafs podcast. I'm Rick.
I'm Dafs.
And we are here unscripted and raw.
That's right, Rick.
Highly medicated edition.
Yeah.
At least on my end. Are you highly medicated? Always.
I always am. I'm currently under the influence of Cattleman's Cut Beef Jerky.
Oh, are they a sponsor?
They not, but they should be.
Oh, I see.
It is both luscious, soft, and dry. Exactly as how you like your beef jerky.
Luscious, soft, and dry. You know, that's a great slogan. I'm sure if you sent that to them, I'm sure they would be super excited about it and probably give you $1 million. Okay, so it's been a long time since we've been back. A lot of things have happened. Have we podcasted since I had a progeny?
I think we did. I think you had a kid once.
Yeah.
We had one episode.
One episode of
since
post-progeny emergence.
AL.
After Luca.
After Luca.
He's quite easy. Although he did injure me.
He did.
First of many injuries, I'm sure.
Hence why you're medicated.
Yeah. Well, the medications have mostly worn off. So there won't be any extra. But people probably think I'm medicated already. I mean, like, that guy's just high as crap all the time. Well, nope, this is all natural, baby.
What's your favorite drug of choice? Zoloft.
I was going to say Enthusahol.
Enthusahol.
Give me 20 cc's of Enthusahol stat. That's what Dwight Schrute would say if he was on the Enterprise and Enthusahol existed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so today is going to be an excellent show. I can feel it in my bones. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I can actually feel my bones. I'm in a great deal of horrible pain. Today we're talking about an idea that I've had about productivity. Mm-hmm. And then we're also going to start a new scale. And what scale is that?
The Princess Scale.
Yeah, we probably should have done some special effect, but we didn't.
We'll edit and post.
We probably won't. Yes, the Princess Scale, where we now are pitting princesses against each other to find the best one.
Yeah, it's true.
And we'll go more in depth on the scale when we get there.
Absolutely.
But first, I think we should talk... Oh, that and the news. Of course. I've got a great news story for you.
Perfect.
So, first off, being productive. Mm-hmm. I had this idea. It should almost be a thought of the week idea.
I mean, it's more than just a thought. I feel like you've well-rounded this out.
It's not a half-baked idea.
No.
It's not a random musing that I text Dafs with.
No.
But I did text this to you.
This is
called productivity prison.
This is at least poached. A poached idea.
It's a poached idea. Basically, let's say you and I work in an office, which would never happen.
Never.
Because we would be fired immediately if we tried to work in an office. But let's say we're working in an office, and our boss is like, Brantner, you've got a deadline. You got to hit it, and if you don't, you are fired. Mm-hmm. And this is a big deal, and I need your 100% A game on this. Mm-hmm. I'm sending you to productivity prison. And what it is a prison almost every way, except for there's a workspace, and you're like locked in there. But there is some time for exercise and communal living, like in prison.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just like you're in a cell. It's 4 walls and a desk, and like nothing else.
There's no distraction. You just get really bad food.
Yeah, exactly. Bad food and all the weightlifting you can handle.
You have all the drive to get your work done. It's essentially a high rules library with a weight room.
Yeah. And guards.
Let's not forget the guards who will beat you.
If you're not being productive. If you're still screwing around, they're going to beat you up. Yes. Heavy beatings. And you can leave once your work's done. So, like, there's no rules other than you can go once your work is done, which should motivate you. But then I thought, if you had like your boss was like, go to this prison and you just get to hang out there and like get free food. Maybe you don't want to finish your work. Mm-hmm. Or like, what's to prevent somebody from sending the competition in to like screw up your work? They're like, you work at, I don't know, GE.
Sure.
And let's say some other company like
Siemens.
Yeah. They're like, ooh, Brantner's going into the productivity prison. Quick, they'd have some guy that they just specifically would go into the productivity prison to screw up the competition.
Rodney.
Slippery Pete. He'd just tell long, droning stories and don't go anywhere. And always are vaguely creepy. I don't know if Slippery Pete's ever been on the podcast.
I feel like you've used a similar voice.
Slippery Pete is a voice I made up. It's like a creepy Southern man. He's like, I pushed my sister down the mine shaft. I'll give you $0.25 if you let me use the deep fryer. Which is that the first one is just creepy. The second one is not necessarily creepy, but there's something about it that's deeply unsettling. And he'd just be talking to you the whole time. Well, I thought of that. The amount of work would be separated by the amount of work.
Like Supermax versus like
so like this is like a 20-hour project. You're going into the 20-hour hole. Like this is like a day. You just need to get it done. Like you're in the general population. That, and then you need to mix in some random prisoners, like actual prisoners,
like real life prisoners.
Yeah, just to like keep it real, because otherwise you might just be not motivated to do your work.
Yeah.
But if there was like a real prisoner in there with you, I mean, you could probably tell who it was easily.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is
it could be a white collar criminal.
It could be, but you're gonna have a bunch of pencil pushers. And then you're going to have a real pencil shiv maker,
right?
Who's like not allowed to be around pencils anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a really good idea. Try and poke some holes in it.
Well, that's going to be his perfect motto.
What you're saying is literally there will be somebody poking holes in it.
Hey,
with the stabbings.
Lend me a pencil. Why? If you don't, I'll stab you. With what? With the pencil you're going to give me. Well, isn't that just more reasons not to give you? Oh, you said you didn't have a pencil.
I always have.
I lied.
No, tell me why this wouldn't work. I feel like this is a great idea.
I think it's a pretty good idea. The one thing I will say is that the transportation costs and the amount of
This is why it would be corporate. It would be corporate sponsors.
You'd have to have like big corporate sponsors. And you have to have them everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm almost wondering if in the future, with augmented reality and whatnot, they wouldn't just have you be in a virtual prison.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, oh no, it's a million times worse. Because think about it. If we have augmented reality in the future, we all have little like microchips in our eyes or whatever. The company's just like, oh yeah, we're turning off your entertainment, so you just can't see TV or the internet.
What you're saying is essentially it's like a human man-made matrix.
Yes,
where you send people like, well, what's to prevent companies then from being like, oh, we let you out of the productivity prison, but really you never left. So you're just like living your whole life working for them.
I'm imagining that it would be augmented reality in the sense that like you can walk around your house and see all the things, but then there's just like things are just blacked out, like the TV's
like
blacked
contacts
out,
or something.
Other people, are just blacked out, and so it's essentially the fridge and your computer, and that's it. That's all you can actually see. And so you're just like, oh man, I can't hear anything. I think Black Mirror had something kind of almost like this.
If you couldn't hear, though, your balance would get all messed up and you'd like fall over.
But you can't fall out of a chair.
I guess.
You're just like pushing your roller chair towards the kitchen.
I don't think that would help your productivity.
Maybe not.
I feel like productivity prison is a low-tech solution with a lot less. Honestly, it sounds way more moral than your idea.
I mean, honestly, though, it kind of already exists. Essentially, what you're describing is just Amazon. A sweatshop.
Oh.
But like...
Oh, yeah, you said sweatshop. That works.
But like, you don't go there if you're going to be more productive. You just go there because you live in a terrible place and that's the only job you have.
Yeah, but see, I feel like a lot of corporate America is gunning for that.
Oh,
like,
totally.
That's their dream scenario.
Totally.
Is that, like, you work and you live in their complex, and that's all you can do.
There's a reason why Amazon has free snacks for its employees. There's a reason why if you go to the huge Allstate center where my brother used to work, you can drop your car off at the front door. Mm-hmm. Free valet parking. They'll go and they'll change your oil. They have a dentist once a week who's on staff there. They have a doctor who comes by once a month to do checkups. They have daycare.
So there's no reason for you
There's
to ever
no
leave.
reason to ever leave.
I have to go to the doctor. He'll be here next Tuesday.
They even had a free lunchroom. So it was like within reason. It was like you could get a hamburger, slice of pizza, soda fountains, all that. It's all free. So like there's no reason to like not go down there for your lunch if you're busy, grab a quick bite, come right back to the office. Because it's in the building. Like you're never going to take your full break.
Yeah. It's like it's an updated version of the company store,
Exactly.
but it's all free, so they can't say it's unethical.
Yeah.
But if you try, it's like creating a culture of like craziness.
Oh, for sure.
I like Productivity Prison better than all of those.
No, I totally agree. Plus, I can get totally shredded.
You get totally shredded. It's a great reality show. Mm-hmm. And welcome back to Productivity Prison. Let's go check in on Brett, who has an assignment due, and he's got to get it done within the next 3 hours. Oh no, it's Slippery Pete.
He's going to talk his ear off.
Yeah,
And if he doesn't, Jim will slice his ear off.
it's not violent. He's just annoying the bejesus out of him.
No, for sure. I feel like in order for it to be a TV show, which would be the best way to do it, because then it covers your overhead.
Yeah.
It would have
It
to
has
be,
to be a reality show.
It'd have to be jobs that you would want to watch. So, for instance, data entry.
Not interesting.
But if it was like you have 5 cakes to bake for weddings this Friday and you only have 18 hours to do so, oh my God. Like Cake Wars is already a thing. Cake Boss is already a thing. Now Cake Prison. Oh my God. I would love that.
With a random... Oh, how about this? I like this game show idea. How about this? There's also a prisoner competing with them, and if their cakes are better, they get time off for good behavior.
Dystopian future state, even worse. If their cakes are better, they get to go out
the other
and have that job.
And the other people have to stay in.
They have to stay and finish that dude's time.
If you're
It'd be
a-
like a maximum of 1 year.
If you're a terrible baker who got a baking job, you're in real trouble. You might as well just quit your job. You'd be like, okay, I quit. Rather than go to productivity prison. But what if you compete against the productivity prisoner, you should get a bonus if you win.
Well, for sure. Not to mention, if you do well on there, you're going to get even a better job when you get out.
That's
So
true.
people could be like, I want to go in to prove my chops.
Right.
So that I can like work for a higher up company.
That's true. There'd be like, he could withstand the pressure. Nothing intimidates him.
Totally.
I saw Brantner finish a cake with a shiv sticking out of his ankle.
His floret icing was immaculate. Not a drop of blood on the cake. All of it was on the ground.
No Achilles heel for him. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, the floor is slippery with his own blood. Oh, no, hang on a second, Jim. He has no non-slip shoes. Oh, thinking ahead. Brantner finishes early.
It's like, wait a minute. He's realized the proteins in his own blood could make a nice varnish. He's whipping it up now. Wow, where did this brilliant red come from?
Cover it up with a little balsamic vinaigrette, and you are good to go.
Oh my gosh. This is kind of like a mixture of prison meets workplace sports that we've talked about before.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have to be a game show for sure. The other thing you could do, like, obviously this wouldn't work for like an actual reality probably, because I don't think corporations would be down for this.
No.
But let's say they're all working on the, like, there's a big pitch for, like, I don't know, let's say some airline, Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to buy some new thing, some new tech, and then like you have a guy from Amazon, Google, and some other companies like locked in the room together working on their own separate pitches, but they're all together stealing each other's ideas, like trying to screw each other over.
They're all trying to talk in code.
Yeah, right.
So I like this idea, and I feel like there's just you could have
Daniel's over there thinks he's outfoxed me, but I spent hours last week studying Morse code. I know everything he's blinking.
I feel like you could solve a lot of job issues for millennials by doing like an offshoot of that program. There'd be like offshoot of the program, Millennial Edition, and it would be like, have you graduated with a master's but have no work experience and no one will hire you?
If you gotten a degree in something worthless, we have a spot for you.
We're gonna give you 3 weeks of actual work to do. And if you can complete it in under 1 week, you get the job. Like, you just see people like pulling like 4 all-nighters back to back. There's just this nonstop coffee and
Adderall.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a guy named Steve who it's actually his job, and he's watching like a Paranoid Fear, and they like check in on him every once in a while. Steve, how you feeling? And just finished project 2, only 72 hours to go, but only 1 project remaining. Well, I'm still feeling confident, Earl. I still feel like it's my game to lose.
Right. Like, so Steve, tell me, why did you volunteer to come here today? I didn't. I took 2 sick days at the end of my 2-week vacation, and as punishment, they sent me here. And
Let's check in on your family. Wait, what?
now I have to literally fight for my job against people half my age.
Ooh, yeah, and if it's comparable, they literally have to fight for their job. Boxing ring, in a boxing match. This is a great idea. I love Productivity Prison. It would be a #1 show. Do you think it would be a hit?
I feel like
Of the reality shows we've come up with, this is definitely one of my favorites.
I feel like people would definitely watch it. I just don't know what network would pick it up.
Fox. That's easy. FX.
Fox does not have that good of reality shows. I feel like TBS would almost be
FX.
FX.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
can see
needs
that.
to be slightly blue collar,
I
which
can see
this is
that.
definitely like.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. That.
No one's watching white collar people do their jobs in here. It's
Yeah.
definitely going to be like, you're a welder and you need to weld 3 football fields of,
my gosh.
whatever. Just nonstop sparks flying while they're falling asleep. Like, oh my God. Luckily, his wound was cauterized instantly.
Oh no, he made himself a passkey and escaped the prison.
He's quite literally welded himself into a corner. The box is closed. He'll now have to undo some of his day's work to get out.
Oh gosh. Yeah, do you think there's a possibility the prisoners would band together to like overawe the guards?
I mean, yes, except for the ones that want to be there for like their own like
Yeah, to finish the jobs.
and betterment and stuff.
Yeah.
So like they'd be like,
It'd be 50-50.
don't make any waves. I have $200,000 of student loan debt. I need to pay this off.
Meanwhile, there's some slacker who's been living in there for like 20 years on this company's dime. I'm just picturing like a lounge lizard Matthew McConaughey type guy who's like, why are you even trying, man?
All right.
Ooh, chicken fingers. Tuesdays are my favorite.
But yeah.
I like that. Mix in with some real prisoners. I think that probably about covers Productivity Prison. But I liked that. I liked it a great deal. Where would you rank it? Ahead or behind of like the funeral / or wedding reality shows we've come up with?
I think it's right alongside the wedding one. I liked the wedding one a lot.
Yeah, the wedding one's pretty good and less violent.
Yes.
I also like the Amazing Race after a funeral, essentially.
Yes.
Where all the inheritance is actually like buried treasure somewhere in remote mountains, in the Ural Mountains in Russia.
You have to figure out which cache you're going to go through first.
Yeah.
You get all the way up to like one of the highest mountain peaks, and you find this box. You open it. It's just their collection of National Geographics.
No!
Because every grandparent had like 80 of those for no
Yeah.
reason.
That's true. Okay, shall we move on to the news and then the main event?
I think so.
All right. And now, the news. Okay, Dafs. I've been saving this news story for a while. This is from January. Woman banned from Walmart after riding cart while drinking wine from a Pringles can, police say. Wichita Falls, Texas. Police were called to a Texas Walmart course, after a woman was reportedly drinking wine from a Pringles can while riding an electric cart in the parking lot. Officers responded to the call around 9 a.m. about a suspicious person in the store's parking lot. The Times Record News reported investigators found the woman at a nearby restaurant and told her she was banned from Walmart. The caller said the woman had been riding around the parking lot since 6:30 a.m. drinking wine from a potato chip can. Your thoughts?
So did she get the can and the wine from Walmart? Did she steal it, or did she bring it from home and just use their cart?
I think that's what's confusing. It sounds like my interpretation is it was her own scooter that she was just drunkenly riding around on, drinking out of a Pringles can.
Oh, see, I thought it was one of those little electric shopping carts that they have there.
It's just electric. Well, it could have been one of theirs. I'm guessing it wasn't, though, because I think they probably would have said that.
I don't know.
My question is, was she out the night before, and this is just continuation? Or did she wake up and be like, you know what?
She set her alarm early.
Yeah. Today's the day I'm finally going to do it.
You gotta get after it. Those Tuesdays aren't gonna spend themselves.
I'm going out to the Walmart, and I'm going to drink this out of this can. That's what I think she was thinking.
See, I thought for sure.
Pringles can, I mean, she must have been trying to hide it, right?
That's the thing. I thought for sure that it was that she went to a Walmart and she brought the can of Pringles with wine in it to as a flask to be discreet, and that she was doing her shopping.
She's doing a terrible job.
Oh, for sure.
Because a Pringles can is not a discreet. People are gonna be like, "Hey, that woman's drinking a Pringles can."
Right.
Make it a juice box, anything.
Something. But I think I thought the story was she was doing that, and then she was on their little electric shopping cart, and then just didn't buy anything, and then went out, and she got too drunk to finish shopping.
Got it. And was just riding around.
But I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she was just there.
What restaurant do you go to after committing that kind of crime?
Sherry's.
I was just going to say Sherry's. Because if you're living your best life, you're getting pie afterward.
Right?
100%.
That's not to no degradation on Sherry's.
Oh, I love Sherry's.
Sherry's is one of the only places you can go any time of day or night. And for that very reason, it makes it, unfortunately, an attraction for weirdos and creeps.
It's 3 steps up from Waffle House, but has the same problems.
I remember watching a guy who was clearly wasted at 3 a.m. falling asleep in his soup. Now, is that a murder? If you watch somebody drown in their own soup?
No. You are not held liable.
So 16-year-old me would have been in the clear.
Totally fine.
That's good. It was before I took any sort of nursing oath. Did we ever take an oath? Doctors take an oath.
We do take a Hippocratic oath.
We did?
Yeah, but I don't remember doing it.
I don't remember doing it either. Does that mean we're in the clear? We can, they're gonna be like, well, Mr. Brandner, it says here that you killed 3 patients and maimed several others. Let me look through your documents here. Well, you're very lucky, sir.
You didn't sign the oath.
Sign your oath saying you would do no harm, so you're free to go.
You're free to go.
Got out on a technicality. I don't know how we got there from drunk lady riding around on a go-kart scooter drinking wine out of a Pringles can, but that is probably a good place to end the news then. Good to say.
That's fantastic.
Okay. What did you think of that news story, Dafs?
I liked it.
On a scale of 1 to amazing.
Amazing.
Me too. Okay, now the main event. The princess scale. Dafs, would you care to walk us through this new scale?
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and judge each princess, although mostly just our favorite ones, based on 3 criteria.
Because that's what the show is all about, really.
Yes.
Judging people and and making up ridiculous scales and criterion for which to judge said people.
That's all we do.
I need to make a Dafs scale, which I judge you on during the show. And then I'll give you your scores at the end. What would you think of that?
It'd have to be like gold stars or thumbs ups or something like that. Something
Or a mixture. At one point, I gave you 3 gold stars. I don't know what that means. There's no conversion table. Okay. Sorry, I derailed us again.
No,
Go ahead.
I went straight to the Rick and Morty. 34 shrepels.
Yeah. 13 grubles.
Just random things. But yeah, so it's going to be based on non-human allies. So that's going to be part of it. So that can be anything from your magical powers to your animals that are going to help you out.
A fish or a mice or a bird.
Some kind of sentient, supernatural, or mystical creature that you have. Various things that are just not humanoid in nature.
Now, here's a question.
Yes.
Now, I understandably not a princess, but would Mowgli count? He might be, you could potentially consider him prince of the forest.
No.
It is an animal kingdom.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. That's harsh.
Don't believe me. It's very
There's some
harsh.
really good non-human allies.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic ones. We've had great discussion about whether or not Mulan is a princess.
I am heartily against her being a princess.
I am all for her being a Disney princess.
It has nothing to do with whether she deserves to be a princess. It has everything to do with whether she is or not. She is not. She is a warrior.
But you can be a warrior princess.
Only Xena can be a warrior princess.
I think Xena has shown that everyone can be a warrior princess. Lucy Lawless would have issues with you.
I don't think so. I disagree.
But so what we're going to do, so it's non-human allies / powers. Then it's going to be the strength of the kingdom. And that can go a lot of different ways.
It's open-ended on purpose.
Yes, like how easily are you going to be able to retain power? How viable is your kingdom?
Is the kingdom cool or interesting?
Whatever we want it to be is what it's going to be.
For example, Elsa, we're not doing her today.
No.
But if we were, I would give her lower marks for kingdom because she just wiped out all the crops.
Yeah, no, she definitely put herself...
Plunged them into infinite winter.
Yeah, way behind the 8 ball. Like, all those fish in the harbor are dead. All those ships that had fish on them, those things are dead.
All those ships are probably destroyed from massive damage.
Yeah, all the fishermen who had to walk across the ice to try to get back home after the fish was frozen.
Probably dead.
Once it thawed, they probably drowned.
Right. They're like, guys, we can see the shore. We're almost there. All of a sudden, it all just like unthaws. They're weighed down by their heavy winter coats. That's a tragic, tragic tale.
It's a sad story if you think about it.
Last but not least, songs.
Yes.
/ quotes. Because if we know anything about a Disney princess, or I guess any princess, but we're probably mining the Disney well here pretty good. You have a good song and you have a good quote.
Yes.
Only 3 criteria. It's very much like a Willy Wonka power index.
Yeah.
3 criteria. We each get 5 points, so a total of 30 points maximum. Who would you like to start with? Today, on the princess scale, we are doing Snow White, Cinderella, and Ariel. The heavy hitters. Snow White, I think the first animated princess.
I would like to go in that order because she was the very first princess ever. 1937.
Yep. Cinderella, I think 1950. I don't know when Ariel was. I'm going to say the 90s or 89 or something.
I want to say late 80s.
Let's look it up. When did The Little Mermaid come out?
I did find out that the Snow White movie,
89.
Really nice. Did find out that Snow White only had a budget of 1.49 million, but
which is a ton for 1937
it's insane. It's stupid amounts of money. But they made in the box office 418 million.
That's a lot.
That's crazy town. Like, if they were thinking correctly, every single movie from then on out should have just been animated films about princesses. Like, no other film is going to give you that much return on investment. Gone with the Wind, total waste of time.
Well, they shouldn't even tried.
Nope,
They
shouldn't
should
even
just
tried.
they should just made it a cartoon.
Yep.
A lot of people would be confused when they said Frank. Isn't that the one where? No, wait, never mind. That's Casablanca. When the person says, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn."
Is that not going the way?
No, I don't think so.
I thought Casablanca was Play It Again.
Oh wait,
Sam.
I don't know. I'm getting all my movie quotes
I don't
messed
know.
up.
It's either Humphrey Bogart or Clark Gable or
Ned Flanders.
some guy.
One of them.
Some guy. Gregory Peck. Ugh. But yeah. So we're going to start off with Snow White. As far as her non-human allies, she does have 7 dwarves, and they appear to be the mythical type.
So we're starting with non-human allies.
non-human
Okay.
allies for the very first one.
For Snow White.
For Snow White, 7 dwarves.
They sing very good songs.
Yes, they are the mythical kind of dwarves because they do mining and
They're also crazy rich.
they are.
They're going into the apparently they've like found this mine that's got like billions of dollars of treasure in it, and nobody's even noticed.
No.
That these 7 also fair. I have to admit, I prepped. I watched some videos, and like at the end of their song "Hi Ho," which is the highlight of the movie, by the way, foreshadowing for another category. They like throw all the jewels that they find into this like door closet thing, and then lock it, and then hang the key on the lock next to the door. That's poor security. Also, they had Dopey doing it.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. The stupidest one is in charge of securing the treasure. That's just bad planning.
And if you have that much
Bad
money,
marks for the dwarves on that.
why are you wearing those kind of clothes? Why are they not having their butlers go mine like all this stuff for them? It just seems very strange.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, why do they... Yeah, they should have tons of servants. They should have their own kingdom.
Yep. But they're clearly quite loyal to her and are willing to fight possibly to the death. So strong allies who have
Well, they killed the queen.
Yeah, large
They
amounts
murdered her.
of money. Mm-hmm. I mean, their capital's off the charts. So I'm going to say pretty good allies overall. I would give them a 3.5, maybe even a 4, especially because Snow White has all the animals in the kingdom too. Like birds dress her and like deer come right up to her.
Yeah, well, we don't want to get too far into her powers. Oh, yes, we do, actually.
We do.
Sorry. She clearly also has, like, tricked these guys into taking her in. I think she knows they're loaded. And she's like, oh, hey there, I'm in distress. Help me. And she's been secretly putting some jewels in her blouse for later. For if she needs to escape.
But yeah, I mean,
She's also quite stupid, though.
she overall, yeah, she makes some really poor choices, does not see clear and present danger when it's right in
Can I
front of
mark her down? Well, probably have to wait to the song part to mark her down for her annoying singing voice.
But yeah, I mean, and this is one of those times where it seems like being pretty is literally a power, which is kind of a weird thing to think, honestly. I don't know. That makes me feel weird. But yeah, so overall, I would say 3.5, maybe 4. What do you think, Rick?
Well, you get to give your own score.
Yeah,
So you're gonna give a 3,
3.5.
3.5 for you. The dwarves are possibly the strongest non-human allies because they do chase the evil witch up to a mountain, and they probably were gonna kill her, but then she fell off the cliff and died. That seems like some revisionist history to me. I think they probably threw her off the cliff.
We chased her, and then she just fell and
And
died
she
all by
fell
herself.
to natural death.
And only the 7 of us.
Here's a question. If I chased you up a hill, like, with the intent to hurt you, and then you fell off the cliff, would I be charged with, like, manslaughter?
I'm assuming...
Or some sort of...
Yeah, I'm assuming you'd be charged by something. If you chase after me and I
didn't actually physically do it, but because I was chasing you, you fell off a mountain and died.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be liable in some sort of civil suit.
I feel like if you shoot a gun at me, I leap off a boat and get bit by a shark and die, that's still going on your record, not the
That's
sharks.
true. And they probably were chasing her with picks and shovels.
Yeah, I
deadly
imagine so.
weapon. Assault with a deadly weapon. Her magic power just seems to be like the animals like her.
Yeah.
I don't judge that very high.
No.
So I have to balance out the greatness of the dwarves with the not so greatness of everything else. I'm gonna give her a 3.
Okay.
So 6.5, which isn't bad.
Yeah. All right. Strength of the kingdom. I don't really know how
This
much
kingdom doesn't-
does she have.
I'm gonna say the kingdom overall isn't that great because one, the queen is just like going out like murdering people.
Yeah.
She's got nothing else to do apparently.
Doesn't really have any like henchmen to do it for her, it seems.
Well, she does have the huntsman.
Yeah.
She like told him to go kill her, and
Yeah.
then instead, he just let her go. It said she was dead, which good on him.
I mean, yeah.
But I would say it's not very well governed because there's like a rich, like cove where 7 non-human people live in the woods, and they clearly haven't done very much cartography.
Yeah, not
if
at
you
all.
can't do cartography of your kingdom, then that probably means your infrastructure's bad. I'm doing a lot of extrapolating here, but if you can't do that, that means your infrastructure's no good, which means your military presence probably isn't very good. If you haven't even scouted the lands, how would you defend the lands if you've never scouted them? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna give their kingdom a low score, only 1 or 2. I'm thinking 1.5.
Well,
That's really harsh, I know.
what I'm kind of wondering is that the evil like witch queen person dies, and then what Snow White just takes over as like the monarch.
I no, because
I thought she was just the prettiest in the land. She wasn't like royalty.
no, it was her stepdaughter. The thing that they don't really say is if there's a king. I think there is a king.
I don't see it. Yeah, so it's like a stepdaughter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't seem like I'm gonna give 1.5. It doesn't seem like a very strong kingdom.
No,
It doesn't seem like she'd be able to like defend against anyone else coming in.
that's what I think too.
All right, so total then is going to be
Oh, sorry. What'd you give? 1.5.
1.5.
Then it would be just a 3.
All right.
Poor showing there. Moving on. Song. I don't think she has a very. Hi Ho is the best song in that movie.
Yeah.
And that's not her song. Does she get credit for it?
No.
I mean, because that is an infinitely great song.
It's a great song. I'm
all
not going
know
to give
it.
her full credit for it. I would say the Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
She's
she
the
would get credit.
fairest of them all.
Yes, she'd get credit for that. So I mean,
Seems
and
like
that's
this mirror should have really been more on the ball. Like, why can't he just lie?
yeah.
Like, why? Like, literally, he's working for an evil queen. He's the quintessential yes man. He's not able to do it.
You know who like you show is going to die. So don't be a jerk and just be like, "Oh, you are, of course."
Yeah, he's a murderer. He's implicated. If this was like a RICO scheme, he'd be in the trial too. They'd be like,
Culpable.
they'd be
You are
like,
culpable.
bring the mirror up to the stand. Did you tell the queen that she was not the fairest of them all, knowing that she would try and murder? Because he apparently is omnipresent.
Yeah, he
Because
kinda
when
shows
she's
up
like,
wherever.
the huntsman has killed Snow White. And he's like, who's the fairest now? And she's like, actually, no, Cinderella's still alive. Or not Cinderella, Snow
White.
White's still alive, so suck on that.
Yeah, so he must be able to see through time and space.
Clearly.
Or at least space.
I'd like to explore more of him. Like, why hasn't he had his own story? How did he get trapped in the mirror? Is he
Yeah.
like a wizard or something?
I don't know.
I'm sure somebody could tell us.
I would say though, overall for song and that, I'm gonna give it a 3, just because Mirror Mirror is so ubiquitous.
I'm going to give the whole thing, for the quote alone, a 5.
Really?
The quote itself, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? That is like a mega quote
Yeah.
throughout the ages. From 1937, Dafs. Here we are in 2019. Almost 100 years ago. Like
Yeah.
over 80 years have passed. And I'm still saying, and if I say mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, you think of Snow White.
Yeah.
That's a massive quote.
All right, I'm gonna change it to a 4. I'm still not big on Hi Ho.
I love Hi Ho. Especially if I like to think that before they killed the evil queen, they were like, hi ho. And then they put their shovels over there and then chased after her. We'll do whatever job needs doing, from mining tons of jewels to murdering the monarch.
But if we kill her, where would we ever hide the Orion? The miles of uncharted mines that we have.
Right. And apparently, like, you could just throw her a dead body in with all the rest of the jewels. Nobody would ever look there.
Yeah, in your super safe vault-like thing.
Right. Well, the other thing is, I mean, not to get too sidetracked, I almost feel like I need to give the dwarves more points because they built that sweet organ.
I don't remember that at all.
They play it while they're singing that silly song, but it's like an old school organ that costs like $1 million to make now.
Really?
And they crafted it themselves.
Yeah. I mean, dwarves are naturally crafty and intelligent, but meh.
I feel like I've shortchanged her. But her magic sucks.
You're going to bring their height into it too now? For sure.
But, okay, so we'll move on. I won't tell the final score.
All right. So on to Cinderella.
Cinderella, wash the dishes, do the laundry, whatever. There's that song
Something
that
like
the
that.
mice are singing.
She has a fairy godmother.
Okay, that's an awesome ally.
Crazy strong ally.
Gave her a great dress and a carriage.
Yeah.
Out of a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. And then wasn't like some of the mice or like the coachman or something?
Yeah, they turned into like coachmen and like horses and
That
stuff.
seemed kind of mean.
To make one of them like a sentient human and then the other one to like a horse and then they turn them back at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about like ripping away someone's like mind.
Right? They were like, "Oh, I could be a human." They're just like living. They're like, "This is the best day of their life," and then nope, that's over. Although the spell she did say could only last till the stroke of midnight.
But even still, can you imagine how much cheese that coachman must have eaten?
Or at least put in his pockets.
Like
he was probably going through the dining buffet.
Oh my god, yes.
Do you think the coachman got to go through the buffet, or do you think they had to go down to the kitchens?
I'm imagining that security would have had to drag him away.
Yeah, they probably had to go down to the kitchens to get their food, but he
Even
probably still
still.
shoved a bunch of stuff in his pockets. What's her magic? Other than she can talk to mice, which is pretty potent.
She cleans well? There's not a whole lot of...
Good cleaning is not a good skill.
There's not
a
whole lot of skills that she has. That's the thing. She's got a specific...
Well, she's got a terrible family.
She's got a specific sized foot. That is it. Like...
That's true. And somebody with a size 9 didn't get the...
That's the thing. I can't figure it out. In the actual like Grimm's fairy tales or whatever, the stepsisters are like carving off toes and parts of their heel to try to like
really small foot.
fit in. So she's a really small foot, I guess, which like that if that is so small and no one, not even like a young teenager or child couldn't fit it, is bizarre. And you know that the dude's not going to know the difference because clearly he doesn't remember what her face looks like.
Yeah, that's kind of insulting. Like,
It's
if you went on
weird.
a date with somebody and they're like, I can't, she looked very generic, but she left this shoe behind. And you're just like, if you just bring it into the context of today, like, how messed up is that guy? He's like, it'd be like if I went on a date with somebody and then I was like, ooh, can't remember what they looked like, but they were really hot and I liked them, but they did leave this shoe behind. Right. I'm going to go door to door with this shoe until I find her. Wouldn't you be kind of creeped out?
They're like, so Prince, you're looking for this girl. Can you tell me about her? Yeah, she's got exactly this sized foot. Okay, do you remember like her name, family, aspirations, personality, anything about... I don't know, man. She had really good feet. Like, it's just...
That's all I know.
What? That's so bizarre. But yeah, so she doesn't really have any powers. All she has is the fairy godmother, which is an ace in the hole for sure. But...
By the way...
Unless you can make them do things for you,
before we score, let's go back. Would you like to know how much $1 million was worth in today's money? for the making of
from
Snow White?
1937?
Yeah.
It was 1.49 million.
Okay, well, just 1 million.
Okay.
Because that's, I can't do
I'm
the
going to
maths.
guess that $1 million is the equivalent of $100 million now.
Oh, wow. You way overestimated.
Oh,
but
really?
$1 million in 1937 is roughly worth 17 million today.
That does not seem as big of a change.
17 million for a cartoon?
17 to 1. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's a lot.
I mean, no, it's definitely a lot for a cartoon.
And
sure.
also, if you think about the 400 million or whatever,
yeah,
times that,
Oh my God,
it's insane.
that's at least like 500 million now.
At least.
I'm not wrong.
If you, yeah. Yeah. So times 16 or whatever.
That's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
That's like billion.
Yeah, probably. No wonder Disneyland's so nice.
So okay, so I don't understand that whatsoever. Why is everyone going crazy about how like Avatar like
Because they don't
grossed $2 billion,
they don't count inflation.
worldwide. But if you compare it by inflation, that's nothing.
Yeah, if you put inflation into the number totals, like for everything, I'm sure it would be different.
Now, is box office only what it did when it was in theaters, or are they including all the money since then?
I think it's only box office.
That's what I thought.
I'm not sure. I'm not a celebrity movie critic.
Also,
genius.
another thing I never understood: what's the whole like going back into the Disney vault thing? Does that mean I can't buy Cinderella ever again until
apparently, which is weird.
It's for sale everywhere.
I know.
I don't understand that.
It's like a weird way of trying to control a product.
Like marketing?
Basically, is like a national product. Like I don't feel like isn't that? I know this is kind of weird to say, but we're way off track.
Totally.
But I kind of feel like some of those movies, because they're so old, I feel like I don't think of them as like I definitely think of them as a Disney movie, but I also just think of them as like a culturally like American movie.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like if Disney's like, well, you can't see it anymore, I'd be like, well, screw you. It's part of our culture. Like, why would you take that away?
Okay, I'll stop playing baseball and eating apple pie.
Right?
You jerk.
It's just weird.
I'll do what I want.
Like we're putting it back in the vault. Why?
You can take my Disney VHSs from my cold, dead hands.
I know that some people were collecting them for that reason. Okay, so we need to score Cinderella for her non-human allies / magic.
I mean,
Specific foot size aside,
if she could get her
the fairy godmother's pretty okay.
to do anything she wanted, then it'd be a 5 out of 5.
Okay, but if you're gonna pit the fairy godmother versus the dwarves,
Fairy godmother every time.
yeah, so you have to give a higher score. I'm gonna give a 4.
I mean, it's got to be at least well, it depends on like
Her magic skills just don't add up.
no, she can do anything.
Yeah.
Like not
No, I'm talking about Cinderella in general. She doesn't have any magic skills. I have to take off a point.
Yeah, 4. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
What are you gonna give?
4.
Okay, so total of 8 there. A good start. This kingdom seems a lot nicer.
Oh yeah,
Seems well charted out.
yeah.
He seems to like at the very least he can go throughout the land.
Wherever he wants, he's got butlers and henchmen and people who take care of his stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So, and the ball was pretty nice.
Yeah. Which means there's high society and low society, which means there are classes. So it's clearly been around for a while.
Whereas you can't tell if in Cinderella, like what's going on.
Oh, and Snow White?
Or sorry, yeah, Snow White.
Yeah, there's no idea.
Yeah.
Anyone could be anyone. But here it's like, oh no. We have rich and poor. We've been around the block for a while.
It feels like the difference between like rural, like early England and like French kingdom under like Louis the 14th.
Yeah.
The Sun King.
Amount of opulence.
Yeah.
That just like
Well, like
is disgusting compared to
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
So I'm going to give this kingdom pretty high marks.
I
Just
mean,
based off of what we know, I'm going to give it I'm going to give a 4.5 to give room for a 5 if there's a 5 out there.
I was going to say, I'm going to give it a 4 just for its standalone. If you don't even include the non-human ally
Plus,
buffering it.
Isn't the castle itself like the Cinderella's castle? The like thing of like Disney. Where
Is
it, like,
that the
goes?
castle?
I think that's Cinderella's castle.
Hang
That's
on.
a pretty nice castle.
I'm going to Google it.
In which
if
case,
it's that iconic, it's 5.
I give it a 5.
Let's
It's a
see.
sweet castle. But I think it's based off of a German castle somewhere.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm dropping all sorts of dimes of knowledge.
It is 100% Cinderella's castle. That is crazy.
You're right. Full 5.
Full 5.
So 10. Cinderella is a heavier hitter than I thought she would be.
I didn't. I underestimated her.
She doesn't sing that much, to be
No.
honest. There aren't a ton of songs. I can't really.
Cinderella, Cinderella.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Cinderella, Cinderella. No, see, that's just, it's not doing it. Again, the best song is not sung by the lead.
No, not at all.
Which I think is going to hurt these princesses in the future when they go up against some of these heavy hitter singers.
Yeah.
Because I think Jasmine sings A Whole New World, right?
Yes, Jasmine and Aladdin sing it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, it's a killer duet. Does Ariel have a song? We'll get there, I guess.
Oh, she has tons of songs.
Song/quote from Cinderella.
There's-
If the shoe fits, you must acquit. No, wait, that's not right. Hold on. Is there any quotes from that movie?
I don't know. So the only song I see is the work song and the A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes.
I do vaguely remember that, but it wasn't like it was so great that I'm like...
And let's not forget Kanye's brand new awesome song, Bibbidi Boppity Boop.
Oh.
Because his Scoopity Boop song
Yeah.
sounds exactly like it's being sung by like some weird fairy godmother, because it's just nonsense that sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, there are some great quotes, but they're not as ubiquitous as Mirror Mirror.
No, nowhere near it. I'm only going to give her a 2
Yeah.
because I would have not
Yeah.
said any one of those ones other than
I'm gonna
the
go
work
with
song.
I'm going a 1. I'm gonna be harsh.
I'm going to give the 2 because that work song has her name said over and over and over again.
Fair enough. That's fair. Okay. I have no idea how this is going to shake out.
I don't know.
She got an 8, a 10, and a 3.
Dang.
And I don't remember the other numbers, but I think they're pretty comparable.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to Ariel. Mm-hmm. Non-magical allies. Or, sorry, non-human allies. Just like a fish and a crab.
No,
Not very
no,
impressive.
no, because Ariel is she's got Poseidon,
Triton.
Triton, same guy.
No,
let's be honest.
different.
So Triton,
Triton's lesser than Poseidon. He's just a minor deity.
but he's still at least a demigod, if not a minor god.
Well, why doesn't she have any magic powers then?
She does. Her voice was a magic power. She could do like
yeah.
anything, and then she lost it for some dude.
Yeah,
for
big
legs.
Big
Oh,
mistake.
no kidding. Yeah, horrible plan overall. But yeah, she has all the fish in the sea who listen to her, other than those moray eels that work for Ursula.
Yeah.
She has an entire mermaid and merman kingdom.
Yeah,
a
but that
father
doesn't
who's
seem-
incredibly strong.
That doesn't seem fair. Because they're all that way. So you can't count the mer people as part of her allies.
Why not?
Because she's a mer person.
Yeah, but she's not for the majority of the film.
Yeah, but they wouldn't help. No, she's... still no.
I don't know.
I can't agree. I'm giving her low marks for her non-human allies.
I mean, her voice is literally enchanting. Although she is like totally brainwashed. Or her husband is. I don't know. It's
That
crazy.
whole thing is weird, yeah.
It's a very weird movie. But I will say, for non-human allies and magical, I got to give her a 3.5.
I just don't like Ariel. I think that's what it's coming down to.
Why do you like Ariel?
I just don't like her. I feel like she's a terrible example for a lot of reasons. She's stupid. And like her family is just messed up. Mm-hmm. Her father can't be that powerful. He got turned into like a squid or something.
No, he did that only to save her life. He
Oh.
sacrificed himself.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh.
He laid down the Triton to save her life and then got made into that thing. And then she took the Triton from Triton and then used that to create a giant whirlpool and get huge. And then Eric had to run the ship into her belly. And
Yeah, you remember this better.
I love this film.
Why do you love it so much?
I don't know. But my God, she definitely has all the fish. She definitely has singing power. That's insane. She has, I mean, yeah. Well, and not even just fish. She later has all the birds too. Like any like somewhat amphibious creature or whatever is on her side. I gotta give her a 3.5.
I guess that's true.
Not as strong as the fairy godmother. Not as strong as, but at least as strong as the dwarves. At least.
I was trying to do some research real quick on her, and I accidentally found the comics, The Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. Apparently, she had the ability to get herself legs for 30 minutes and fly.
Really?
Well, this is the comics.
Oh man, that's way better.
I'm not really seeing any powers here, other than just that she had a great voice that somebody literally was willing to kill somebody for.
Well, that's the thing. It was that powerful.
So you gave a 4?
I give a 3.5 or 4. I couldn't decide.
I'm gonna go 3.5 because, apparently she has superhuman strength.
Really?
Yeah. Remember she moved all those boulders, blocking her grotto with relative ease.
What? When?
This is according to Disney Wikipedia.
All right. Well,
She's also very fast at swimming.
oh, I mean,
Swimming speed.
She's a mermaid.
Wow, the underwater breathing, I'm not going to give her credit for.
No. You don't get credit for being a fish. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go 3.5.
3.5.
Yep.
The singing. This is what I've been trying to figure out. Apparently, she has the most beautiful voice in all Atlantica.
Yeah.
Apparently, her voice was so amazing that even like somebody who'd never seen her could fall in love with her by hearing her voice.
Which is essentially just what a siren is. I mean, she's
she's
a siren.
That makes the movie make a lot more sense if you think about it through those.
Loud and irritating. Sorry, different kind of siren.
I really want to get my mom a air raid siren.
I know you do. You've mentioned this on the podcast at least twice.
I've never mentioned it on the podcast, but I've
totally
texted it
have.
to you a lot that I want to buy my mom an air raid siren. Now, she found out and she said no. Mm-hmm. But I take that as a maybe. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to buy her one that can be mounted on the wall, like an industrial strength one. You know, you can get like a full, industrial strength air raid siren for only $200, Dafs.
Here's the key. You install it outside of the house. You change the wiring so the garbage disposal turns it on.
Oh my gosh.
Don't tell her. you just wait for her to, what the heck?
Okay, so that's an 8 then total for non-human allies / magic for Ariel. Because you gave a 4, right?
I gave a 3.5.
Oh, you gave a 3.5?
Yep.
Wow, you talked me up to a 4. 7.5 then. Mm-hmm. The kingdom. She's got 2 kingdoms. I'm going to give her a full 5.
Full 5.
Because if she's the queen of that other land, she's definitely the queen or at least the princess. Mm-hmm. So she's a queen in her own right. So she could be it would be like a dual monarchy between the land and sea.
Yeah, 100%. Gonna be weird trying to convince all the humans to be vegans because your friends are being eaten.
What I don't like about her character is that she literally abandons her entire family to go off with some guy who she never even met.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yep.
It really annoys me.
I agree.
But that's not what the scoring system is about. Mm-hmm. So moving on. Song. Under the Sea is an amazing song.
Under the Sea. Kiss the Girl. Part of Your World.
Oh yeah, Part of Your World.
That's a great one.
Are there any quotes that stand out? Little Mermaid quotes. I can't think of any off the top of my head, which makes me feel like I can't give any quote points.
Ursula has some good ones.
I mean, unless you count Under the Sea as a quote. Which I don't. Well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give her any points for that, but I'm going to give her a 4.5 for the strength of the songs.
Yeah.
Man, I might even
agree.
give a full 5 just for the strength of the songs.
I
alone.
won't. I'm leaving the 5 for
Okay,
a
4.5.
specific princess because
4.5.
there's one that just crushes it.
4.5 then from me, and from you.
Yep. So
Okay.
total 9.
So would you like to know the scores?
I think I know who won.
I think it's pretty obvious if you've been even vaguely paying attention, which I haven't been, even though I've been scoring it. So, Snow White, for her song/quote, she got a 9. Kingdom, we felt like it was a pretty crappy kingdom, so she only got a 3. Non-human allies/magic, 6.5, for a total of 18.5.
Nice. Not bad.
Not bad.
If 30's
out
the
of
max.
30, but that's pretty low. The kingdom really hurt her. It was just a crappy kingdom.
It depends on how you're grading. If halfway there is pretty good, then yeah. If halfway there is an F,
Well, we don't really know yet. We'll find out as we go along. Cinderella, for her song, she got a 3 because the best song on there is from the mice. She doesn't even sing it really. The Kingdom, we gave her a full 10. And non-human allies/magic, 8 because of the fairy godmother for a score of 21. So she's immediately topped Snow White.
yeah.
Snow White's real only strength was having a sweet quote. That was about it. Ariel, now she just dominated this competition. She got a 9 for a song, 10 for the kingdom because she's got dual kingdoms.
Yeah.
And non-human allies/magic. She does have quite a bit of magic about her.
She does.
She got a 7.5 for a 26.5 Dafs. So she is the early leader of the best princesses.
I only feel
Which
like
I
there's
dislike because I hate her.
I only feel like there's probably 2 other princesses that can take her down.
Jasmine?
Jasmine's definitely one of them.
Jasmine's got some pretty sweet skills.
Jasmine
And
hits,
she's got a cool tiger.
she gets like 10 out of 10 on all ones, in my opinion.
We'll argue about that later.
We're gonna have to. But I like when you said princess scale, I was like, there's no competition. It's Jasmine. But we'll do the
find
math.
out. We'll find out.
And then Elsa from Frozen, which again is I think DreamWorks, not Disney. And overall, there's
But it
some.
doesn't have to be purely Disney.
I have some scruples with her, but
Well, she's a terrible person.
oh my god, yes.
That's why I also don't like Ariel. I'll
But
be rooting against her super hard.
super powerful.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Well, this has been a much longer episode than I ever could have anticipated.
I was wondering if we were going to be able to fit both ones in, and we did. But man,
Anytime you and I get our hands on a good scale, things are going to get a little crazy. All right. Well, that's been another exciting, amazing, fantastic edition of the Rick and Dafs podcast.
stay tuned next week. We'll have another subject and the next installment of the Princess Scale.
Maybe. Who knows what'll happen. Have a good one.